Hello everyone, this video is going to be about importing PES lettering sets. So a lot of lettering sets you have are embroidery designs that you get from various shops, and most of them will have a PES format in them. So Embroidery can create a lettering set from your imported lettering set by choosing import file, lettering set in PES format. You'll get this screen, and in this screen you need to determine what letters your lettering set has, and I'm just going to do a few um, letters for the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Anyway, I'm just going to add these letters. And once you do that, you're going to have a list here of where you browse to the file location. So in the file location, we're going to go to the desktop and we're going to go to, I think it's import lettering. Yes. And I'm going to choose A for this one since that was the first one. And I'm just going to keep on going down the list until I'm finished. So I'm going to pause the video now so that we can get to the next step. So you just keep on doing that as you go down. Okay, so I've entered most of my files. You might want to go down the list and make sure that everything matches. And it looks like it does. So at this point, I just say make set. Oh, also, before I continue, you can continue adding letters if you forget some, and you can also click a row and delete it if you want. All right, so we're going to press make set. It's going to go ahead and it's going to open each of those files, and it's going to start building a lettering set. Now, this process is rather slow, so you might want to go and do some other things while it's doing it. So we'll pause the video here, and once we are done, we will come back. All right, after it's finished, it will be opening a save dialog where you can save it. I'm going to just save it to the normal defaults lettering file, which it opens to the place where the program puts lettering files for this experiment. And I'm going to call this imported set, just because that's what I'm showing you. But name it something logical. So like if you got some sort of script font, call it script font. Call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Okay. So once you've imported it, then we can go and use it. And because it's a new lettering set, just like when you install lettering sets, it's going to take some time for it to. All right, now that the lettering set dialog has repopulated, we're going to go ahead and use it. Use our new lettering set. Now I only did lowercase letters, so I'm going to only type in lowercase letters. So we go and just like everything I tell you in embroidery is everything is based off of these lines and curves. So lettering sets are not any different. So we choose a line, which the lettering will go along the line, and we choose a lettering set. And we're going to go down to our lettering set called import set. And the reason the highlight's not showing is it doesn't have a capital A, B, and C. So lettering sets should have a capital A, B, and C at least in order for them to show up properly. I'll have to look into making an exception for that in the future. All right, so we're going to choose this lettering set called import lettering set, and we're going to just type in import set. Set the spacing to 0 because this is a connected set. You'll see that shortly. All right, so you can see that. Now my set has one problem because the way the PES file that I had outputted, and we want to do this to scale to line. Oh, fit to line. Okay. So one thing to note about imported sets is you cannot scale them because they are just embroidery designs. And what I mean by that is an embroidery file is just a bunch of XY coordinates of these points. It doesn't have any more intelligence in it other than a set of XY coordinates of these points and the color information for the thread. No other information is in an embroidery format. All your machine needs to know is the coordinates and the colors. It doesn't need to know that it's an object, that it's a hole, that it's a fill, all that sort of thing. It's just a bunch of stitch points. So be aware that embroidery files, that's all they are. And so you can't really edit them much. You can't really shrink them or expand them too much beyond about 10 or 20%, because all it's going to do is move the points back and forth, further or less apart. So in imported sets in embroidery wear, it only imports the size that the set was. So if you want to have multiple sizes, most lettering sets you get um, from stores will have, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever. They'll have various sizes. So you have to import each of those separately as its own file. But anyway, you can see that there's some problems with this set. P in particular isn't right, and it should be down lower. So what we're going to do is we're going to roughly measure this, and you can do this more precisely some other time, but I'm going to roughly measure the distance that this is so that I can go ahead and edit the letter. So I know that the lettering set stops here, or starts here, and stops here. So you can see I have a Y of 14. Maybe I can turn the snap off because that might not be accurate. We'll do this, and our Y is 18.4. So what we're going to do is we're going to go edit the letter P, and choose P, and we're going to move that down by 14. Now in a previous video I showed you how to move precisely by dimension, and so what we're going to do is we're going to keep this distance, we're going to make the Y distance 1, 4, what was that? What was that distance? Did I forget already? Anyway, 14.8, is that what it was? Or no, it's 13.8. Okay. If it's wrong, that's okay. So we're going to move this letter down. Oh, we got to select it first. Oops. So we select the letter, and we're going to move that down exactly 14.8 or 13.8. I'm sorry, not 13.8, 138, because this is in tenths of millimeter. So we'll move it 113.8. So we're going to go back, and now it should be lined up, and it is. Now the distance isn't great, so we could adjust that by like what we did before, but in this case, I'm just going to adjust the spacing in the spacing dialog. So you can do this a number of ways. I'm going to use the spacing dialog, but you could go in the sets and figure out when they end and start, and you could move them manually and get your whole set working properly. It's a lot of work, and it's maybe not needed, but I'm just going to move this over in this screen. I'm just going to make slight adjustments because this is a continuous lettering set, and I clicked too many times. I'm going to have to wait for it to finish. Every click, it recalculates all the lines, so just be aware of that. Be a little patient. Okay, that probably could have gone 5, so we'll move that 5. So you get the idea. So we pretty much have imported a set, so we can go ahead and use other sets that we have, which is a great feature.